what I decided to do was fused glass, and I went to the glass store and purchased some of the 96 glass. It has to be a very certain kind of glass in order to fuse it, and you have to use all the same 96 or it won't stick together. So what I have here is I have my glass cutter, and I have my chunkers and my nippers, and the first thing that I'm going to do is take my glass cutter and I cut a strip of glass, and I want to listen for that scritchy scratch sound. And then I take my nippers and I hold the piece of glass up and I just kind of squeeze it right on the line, and that breaks off the strip of glass. From there I can take my chunkers and I just kind of hang on to it like this, and I can pull off little chunks of glass and place them any way I want. Now, fused glass, there's three types of fused glass. There's a full fuse, a medium fuse, and a tack fuse. The tack fuse, basically when you layer your glass, the tack fuse will just look almost like that when it comes out of the kiln. A medium fuse melts it together more so that the edges are more rounded and soft, and a full fuse would be everything is melted down until the surface is completely flat. So what I'm going to do first, I decided to do a little lion's head. So this is just experimentation really. I can use just a little bit of glue to hold my glass in place. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on there, place my clear glass on top, and then for the lion's mane, I'm going to stick these little pieces of the spirit glass around on there, and I want to make sure I don't use too much glue, just enough to kind of hold it in place before it goes in the kiln. And then I've got these little orange rods that can be used for whiskers, and some little ears for the lion. And once I experiment a little bit more with this, I intend on maybe doing a landscape scene with my 5th graders, and they could just handle the glass with gloves on. That would be one of the purchases that I would have to make. If they're going to be doing any chunking or zipping, then they have to wear goggles as well. So I'm going to put my little pieces together here, just kind of gluing these simplified pieces down onto each other all the way around the mane to make a mane. And then I'm going to give them some little whiskers, and I chunked some little green pieces for eyes. So I'm going to glue those on there as well. And once I get all my pieces glued down, then basically it goes in the kiln. And I also had to purchase some special paper to put in the kiln, because otherwise the glass will fuse right to the shelf. So you have to protect your kiln shelves with the specialized paper. So once I get my little lion all put together here, then very carefully I'm going to pick up what I've created, and this is what it looks like. Close up. Get the camera on it there. And then I'm going to take it over here to the kiln, and this is my ceramic kiln. It's not a glass kiln, but I can fire glass in it, and there is there's the paper down in the kiln that I have to lay the fused glass on. So right now the fused glass is laying on the paper in the kiln. And then I'm going to close the kiln, and then here is my control panel for the kiln. I have to ramp it up. I'm going to fire it at 300 degrees. It'll get 300 degrees hotter per hour up to 1420 degrees, and then it cools down by itself, and that will give me my fused glass at a medium fuse, and we're done.